Hey everybody, Kris here from Thomann. We have a super special day today. We have the one and only John Petrucci here at Thomann. Hey man.
Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing, Kris?
It's awesome that you're here. We're really, really grateful for that.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and this place is unbelievable.
Oh, thank you.
It's out of control.
Thank you. That's awesome to hear.
If you haven't visited Thomann facility, it's its own city.
Yeah, it's growing. It's
amazing.
It's really interesting.
Really, really cool. Everybody's very nice and happy to be here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, well, the reason is that you're in Europe, is that you're celebrating 25 years anniversary of Images and Words,
That's right. Yeah, that album came out in 1992.
Crazy.
I know, it is crazy. I was half my age. We were all young guys. It was the second album that we did as a band. First album with James LaBrie on vocals, so a lot of people really kind of identify that as being the first album in a lot of ways. When we did that record, we toured as well. We had a song that was, fortunately, played on the radio and became a rock radio hit. That was Pull Me Under. We did our first video. We were on MTV. So it really kind of launched, in a lot of ways, the band's career. So a lot of people identify with that album. And so this tour has been really cool because it has, such a deep meaning to a lot of fans. Right. And we're having fun.
Does it feel different to play all these songs? You play the whole album, right?
We play the whole album from its entirety in order from start to finish.
Oh man!
And we also play a Change of Seasons, which was originally it was written at the same time, and it was supposed to be on Images and Words originally, but at the time the record label didn't want us to release a double CD.
All right.
And so they took it off, and we put it out later on as an EP. And so now we play that song as well, so people can kind of hear the whole thing as it was meant to be.
It's really interesting for me to hear, because A Change of Seasons was the first CD, actually the first CD I ever bought.
Oh, no way.
And this was also the first thing I heard from you guys.
Wow.
So I was like blown away, like, what is this?
That's pretty cool.
I didn't understand any of it. It was just, wow, really, really impressive. And then I dug into deeper.
Cool.
I found it really, really cool, this combination. I never thought that they belong together.
Yeah.
Probably because it's produced differently, it sounds, drums sound totally different, the guitars. But it makes sense, It
makes sense. I mean, to us it made sense. When we were younger, going to Berkeley in Boston, listening to a lot of metal, but at the same time being really influenced by progressive rock. Yes, we're big fans of Rush.
If you look,
Alex, my favorite.
We're prepared, and if you recognize,
that's the best chord. That's it, right? I owe every chord I know to Alex.
we wanted you to feel comfortable here.
I feel right at home. Him and Ted Green. I know every chord because of those two guys. So we kind of very naturally gravitated towards this combination of metal because we were into Iron Maiden, Metallica, stuff like that. And then as far as orchestration, having a keyboard player, writing these long songs, having extended solos, being non-traditional with song arrangements. Each verse doesn't have to be the same. We can change time signatures, all that stuff. And then when the way that Images and Words was produced was almost in more of a commercial way to make the band sound presentable to people. So when you hear a song like Pull Me Under, one of the first things you notice is, oh, this sounds really cool. And then you kind of get sucked into it. So that was the idea.
Really great. Let's talk gear.
Sure. Love it.
Are you a gearhead?
I'm a nerd.
Gear nerd?
I'm the worst. I'm a tweakaholic. It's bad at this
I totally
point.
get it.
And I am constantly looking, searching, intrigued by sound, by design, and how to make it better and better, or even different sometimes. And I'm willing to go down the rabbit hole, even if it leads to a horribly dark place, and because you can always come back.
Sure.
And what I noticed right away, I just walked in here, you had all the gear set up, and you said to me, yeah, I just dialed in the amp, and I started playing, and all 3 channels, you had this awesome sound. So I'm like, all right, that's a guy who knows his boogies, because you know how they work. Obviously, that's your Mark III, you said. And you have experience, and so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take these sounds home. Maybe we'll use them during the show tonight. You know?
Well, that will shock me, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So let's start with guitars and everything from the Ball family.
Absolutely.
Right. So strings, guitars, setup, everything.
Yes.
What's new?
As far as what's new with Ernie Ball Music Man, there's two things. As far as my line of signature instruments with them, it's the Monarchy Majesty. As far as strings, it's the Paradigm strings. So talking about Ernie Ball Music Man and the Majesty, this guitar is the culmination of 17 years plus working with Sterling Ball and the family, his sons, the engineers there, Dudley Gimple, Drew Montel, all these guys, and creating what I think are the best instruments on the planet. The idea was, okay, you know, we did a lot with the bolt-on series, and I wanted to take the guitar to the next level. We had talked about this actually a while back, but we finally made it happen, doing a neck through.
All right.
So that would be the first step, you know.
Was this like an ergonomic decision, or was this like tone, like I want more sustain?
I think it's both.
Okay.
You know, with some of these things, honestly, Kris, some of these things I go by without any prior experience.
All right.
You know, like maybe what you heard, like, well, I think if it's one neck through, it's going to have more sustain, but I didn't know for sure. But yeah, that ended up being a key feature.
All right.
Because the Majesty, I think even more than the others, it has so much sustain and so much life. You know, it really is a very alive guitar. But, you know, probably for me, maybe more in the forefront was the accessibility, not having anything blocking my hand from going up there. So you can see the neck through really does that. And then it was the design, you know, taking some of the things that we learned from the original guitars and that we became really comfortable with, like the arc of the control layout. You know, the way it follows your hand. The three-way toggle, the piezo toggle, the kinds of knobs, fret size, neck radius, neck carve. These are things we tweaked along the way. These are
constant.
They're now like they reached the constant point.
Oh, right.
But on the other guitars, they're all different.
All right.
And they're all interesting. One of the guitars has a 20-inch radius, you know.
Wow.
So these are things that we talked about, experimented with, and then came to the final conclusion. Like, you know, it's kind of like this soup is too cold. This soup is too. This one's just right.
This is
so. It's the Goldilocks effect.
All right.
So everything is perfect, right? So all that remains a constant, and then we took the design to the next level. So the idea was try to get more upper fret access for kind of the wide kind of playing. Sterling's idea here was to take the wood out.
All right.
So that your thumb could actually reach higher, because what good is all this access if your thumb is back here?
Of course. Yes,
right. Which gave the guitar a very unique kind of, it almost looks like an enlarged upper horn, but it's not. You know, it's just the way it angles there. Get more surface area on the bridge for your palm, because I kind of rest my palm on the guitar. All details like rounded saddles so that nothing's sharp on your hand. These are things that we developed. Actually, that was something from the beginning we did. You know, even just the way that it looks with the polished ebony fretboard, mirrored inlays, the mirrored Majesty logo. Majesty was the original name of Dream Theater.
Dream Theater, yeah.
That's where that comes from. It's just an M in a circle, pretty much, for Majesty. Angled headstock for better tuning stability. It's just, you know, it's like the Ferrari of guitars. In fact, the original one, design-wise, was aesthetically modeled after a BMW.
Oh, come on. Really?
Exactly. That's why that's the carbon fiber look, the frozen paint.
Like the top or the hood.
The black hardware, like the rims.
Cool. You like cars? Or was just
well, I like BMWs.
Okay.
And the frozen paint, it was like that M6, frozen paint. That's like the original guitars that were in white and Arctic Dream.
Like the spark
it's
white.
like a kind of like a pearlescent kind of
silverly color.
So those are the original. So the Monarchy, what we did is, I'm a big fan of the finishes where you can see the wood grain. And I love the BFR series.
for that
tone
reason,
wood
yeah.
combination. So mahogany, basswood, maple top. These monarchies actually it's all African mahogany,
All right.
maple top.
So the neck through wings,
right,
all
exactly.
mahogany,
Yeah.
and then you have a maple
And then
top.
maple top, exactly,
Right,
which is kind of in the shield
Shield
thing.
form.
This is one piece, the headstock, the neck, and this whole part where everything is screwed into.
Crazy.
So that's where you get that resonance. But the idea was to take the Majesty and do that kind of BFR look, where you can see the wood grain and have that high gloss
Yeah, yeah.
look. The challenge was that the guitar, the curves of the guitar. Oh, look at it. Here. The angles, you know, everything it's kind of very involved in order to get this buffed out and polished this way. And so that was my request, to do like a high gloss kind of BFR look, and they did it.
It's
They
crazy
did it
with so
unbelievable.
soft curves
Yeah.
to make it like satin at the back
Right.
and gloss. in
That's
front.
the thing. Yes,
that's
good point. So the
crazy.
back of it is satin.
That's
So the cool thing about that is that this feels really smooth against your clothing,
Yeah.
you know, and of course against your,
And when you
your
play.
hand. And then the front looks just gorgeous and shows off the wood. You know, when I saw the red one, the blue, the purple, they're just works of art.
Yeah.
In the same way that I tweak the guitars, we tweak the pickups.
all right, all right.
Like, oh, I wonder what it would sound like. You know, it's kind of like dialing the
Yeah,
amp a
yeah.
little bit less high end. So we kind of dialed a little less high end
Okay.
from the Illuminator pickups, made the low end a little tighter.
Okay.
I love those. We initially did those for the JP16, which had a Floyd Rose on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I liked
Which
it.
is
Oh, there you go.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
this
was the
beauty.
inspiration, those pickups, and I loved them so much. We decided to put them into the Monarchy. So they're
All right.
just a little bit, I don't know, just it keeps going, you know, getting better.
Getting forward.
Yeah,
just in
but
small-
they're all good though.
Yeah.
I have a white Majesty with illuminators in it that I
Right.
play during the show, and that sounds just as awesome. So they're all little tweaks that make the guitars just slightly different from
Do you
one
use
another.
that guitar for a specific song, or
I do
or
use it
like
for a specific
super heavy
song.
song, or
I use it. No, the song I'm using it for is it's kind of more of a proggy song.
All right.
It has like heavy sections, but I'm using it mostly because I like the way it looks.
that's the answer I was
It's
waiting
like,
for.
oh, look at the white guitar.
It
and
looks
I-
sexy.
Come on, man. And it's, a lot of times those are the best decisions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course, you have to listen
Yeah.
to your heart, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Of course, the monarchies all have this piezo system as well. So what I'm able to do, I mean, basically I go for, I guess you can call it 3 main sounds. You can throw in a 4th sound if it's the acoustic sound.
Yeah.
But the guitars have a stereo output. Split the guitar off, and you send one part to your rig, one part to a DI,
All right.
and you can take advantage of the beautiful acoustic sound. So let's see. So we have songs where I'll be strumming along. Really simple, kind of folky stuff, right? And then we'll kick into the big part of the
Yeah,
song, and all I
yeah.
have to do is flick that button
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and there comes the rig.
jumps in right
Yeah,
there.
it's pretty cool.
That's really crazy. Was this something new, the piezo stuff, when you started to work with Music Man?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've never seen it before, like on
Right.
Steve Morris or Lou guitars. It was just completely
Yeah, we started with that.
new, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and it was something that was right up my alley because, you know, 2 things. When I record, I either have purely acoustic sections that will change on a dime to electric, or a combined sound. So talking about Images and Words and Pull Me Under and all that, that was the first time I was turned on to this process of recording multi-tracked, clean
All right.
guitars.
The intro.
Right,
that's
doubled with
awesome
acoustic
sound.
guitars
Yeah.
playing the same thing. So you might have like 8 different guitars, and I'm able to get that sound. So if I go to a clean sound right on the amp, which you so nicely dialed in over there. Usually I use like the middle position there. Maybe put
Do
a
you
little.
split it, or do you use usually humbuckers?
Usually I use the humbuckers just because it's louder. If I was recording and I wanted a different sound, you could do the split, which is on the tone control for a more sparkly sound. It's just I'm finding live that it's just louder with it in, and so it kind of blends a little better.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have to kind of jack up the clean volume on that.
And that's.
Yeah.
You want some chorus or something?
Yeah, let's do that.
We actually built a custom wall for John.
I love it.
Which you want to have?
Let's do the Dreamscape. So that's my TC signature Dreamscape pedal. You know, the SCF pedal.
Yeah.
I used forever.
You had also all the racks, like
all the rack stuff, the 2290, the 3000. But that's one of my favorite chorus pedals of all time. Yeah. And TC had never done a signature pedal.
Yeah.
And I never did a signature pedal.
I think still not. All right, yours is.
Mine's the only one. Yeah. And so
how
it
cool
was
is
like,
that?
oh, what do you want to do? We talked about. I love the SCF, but I would do this to it. And so we came up with that. And it's just a fantastic pedal.
It's crazy. Beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, a little aside there.
Yeah.
But we have the chorusing on the clean, which is what I would do. I'd probably also put on delay. Do you have a delay? Oh, we have a flashback. Another TC pedal.
It's on a 2290.
There we go. And then I would combine it with the piezo. So here's that sound from before. And when you put the pickup selector in the middle, you have the piezo at the same time, and then you have this. So you're like two guitar players playing. So it's a combination that's great. And I actually play in stereo normally, so now the guitar is in stereo.
Oh man,
you're just like
it's a happy place, right?
It's a happy place.
You're spot on the stage.
It's a happy place. So all those kind of chordal things from Images and Words, where I'm playing these Alex-inspired chords, like that kind of thing. Change of Seasons as a progression. That's like. I mean, that's like mostly how I sort of play clean guitar. Is I play arpeggiated chord sequences. It's most of my shtick, I think. And so I find that this kind of setup is just perfect for that, because
it's crazy.
You get the, really the beauty of the magnetic sound with the effects, and then you have the definition and the, as I call it, like the piano-like quality, where you can really feel the weight of the strings with the piezo. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried singing pickups? Like,
have I ever tried
in addition, like in the middle of a single?
No,
or
well, let me tell you the reason why we don't have that. It's because, again, all my choices have to do with practicality, performance. Just for a really quick aside, for example, all the volume, tone, piezo controls have this piece of rubber. So when you're playing and your hands are sweaty, you have something to grab onto.
You don't fall off. You just
little things like that, right? So the reason I don't have a middle pickup is because the way that I pick, my pick would actually always knock into it. And so I could never have that pickup there.
Sure. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
I kind of like anchor my hand on the bridge, my pinky is here, and then that pickup is right in the way.
It's just,
so no single coils.
All right.
One other thing to mention about the Majesty that we did, and we have it on the 15 as well, is that this is an active system. So there's a preamp in the guitar.
All right.
So it doesn't matter how long of a guitar cable you have, it's buffered out. You retain all of the tone from the guitar. And we're able to do some crazy things. Like, for example, we put a 20 dB boost on the volume control. You can set the amount of boost you want.
You never know. You
never know.
Could ever.
So if you're playing along, that's a lot of volume increase, right? So absolutely. If you're playing along, if you really slam that going through the front of the amp, it's going to distort.
Yeah.
So
even this amp.
But here, let's shut off the Dreamscape for a second. You can keep the chorus on. I'm sorry, the delay on.
Yeah.
And so if you were on like a lead sound and you're playing. And you wanted a little more sustain or whatever, you just throw that on. You're not going to hear a volume increase, but it's going to hit the front of the amp harder, so you have more sustain. Change of seasons we were just talking about. There's a melody part. So that'll give you that extra without having to step on a pedal or.
It actually doesn't change your sound at all.
It doesn't change
just really
the
just
sound.
more of what you have already.
Yes, it's nice and transparent.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
I absolutely want to hear something about these strings, the brand new Ernie Ball Paradigm.
That's right. Yes.
You have some experience with these strings already, right?
So a while back, I was introduced to the Paradigm strings, and here they are.
Just in case.
Yeah.
They are in stock for like 2 days or something, so super brand new, it's still hot. And you can grab yourself a packet.
They're so brand new that I don't have any yet. I think I'm taking those.
Here you go, man.
Thanks, man.
It's all yours. It's all yours.
I finally have them. But I had some, first of all, I've been playing Slinkies forever. And I love the way they sound, I love the way they feel. It's something I don't even have to give a second thought to. It's just the strings on my guitar. So the whole idea about coming up with a new string design, formula, technology is to me the important thing is I don't want to all of a sudden have something that feels or sounds unfamiliar.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with the Paradigms. They made them ridiculously strong.
All right.
So they're like just about impossible to break, but they sound and feel like Slinkies.
This was exactly the thing what I wanted to ask.
These are great. They sound great. They sound
Feel
like Slinky strings. They feel like
not harder or more rubbery or.
No, that's the whole thing. The whole tension, everything is the same. I don't get it.
That's like wizardry.
Right. It's total wizardry. I don't know how they do it. And then of course, who wants to break a string? So there you go. So they continue, to push the boundaries with that technology. Brian Ball has been like really, amazing with that, with kind of pursuing new formulas and technologies and string construction or whatever you call it.
Yeah, that's
string engineering.
String engineering. What really impresses me, what I hear all over the place, whenever you talk about Ernie Ball or the whole Music Man family or any other artists, that it really is super comfortable to work with them.
Oh man,
that it's like really, it's not just like it is a family business. It's like it feels like a family as well, like being part of it.
It absolutely is, and that's so important for not only myself. Being a New Yorker, New York is famously a very family-centric place to live. Because most a lot of the history of the U.S. people coming in from Europe and other places and kind of settling in on the East Coast, and New York has such a big concentration of different cultures, Italian culture and Jewish and Irish and everything. Yeah, and so the whole family thing is just that's how I grew up. And Ernie Ball Music Man, the Ernie Ball family's from the West Coast, but the same thing. Same. Values, same kind of sense that family is really important, and that relationships are everything. And that kind of feeling to me when I first connected with them, again 17 years ago and growing, it was felt immediately, and it makes this whole thing so much more fun. And we've gotten into smoking meats and barbecue and, and everything else that you can think of. So
crazy.
There's such a deep kind of relationship and respect, and that sort of love comes through on the instruments and everything that they make. And so it's really important. It's what people connect with. You know, music is a very personal thing. It's a very powerful and moving thing. And even though this is just, you know, wood with strings on it, it's actually a very personal and strong and powerful and meaningful thing. All this stuff is.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's unbelievable. Yeah, we were in upstate New York.
Upstate, all right.
Not too far upstate, just kind of on the border of New Jersey and New York.
All right.
Really at Bear Track Studios.
Oh,
Just
man,
beautiful, beautiful studio.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You worked there a couple of times afterwards as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we did 6 Degrees there. We did Change of Seasons there.
Yeah.
Beautiful studio owned by Jay Beckenstein from Spyro Gyra, who plays saxophone on Another Day.
That's him.
That's him. Yeah. But it's not a studio anymore.
Okay.
I think it's somebody's house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it yours?
I wish. Should have bought it.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, we'll cut and we'll come back in another video with the Boogie stuff and some other stuff. So if you want to check that out, please do so. If you want to subscribe, we are super grateful for that. It's somewhere on the right corner down there, just around the knee of John. And you can click on his knee and comment and share opinions. We're happy to read them and react if we can. John, thank you, but we'll continue.
All right, sounds good.
Cheers, guys.